Right now, at this exact moment, there's a number attached to your name that you've never actually looked at. Not your salary, not your bank balance, a different number entirely. One that's been quietly moving for months, maybe years, completely independent of whether you check it, whether you feel rich, whether anyone around you would ever guess it exists. Most people find out they're building real wealth the hard way, years too late, after a divorce forces a disclosure, after a parent passes and the estate gets tallied, after some accountant sits across a desk and says a number out loud that doesn't match the life the person thought they were living. You don't have to find out that way. There are signs, 6 of them, and the unsettling part is that you could be showing every single one of them right now and still feel completely, totally broke. Here's how to tell the difference between a feeling and a fact. Sign 1. You have a gap, and you protect it on purpose. Not a big gap, not a dramatic one, just a small, consistent space between what lands in your account and what leaves it. And, this is the part that matters, you defend that space when your income goes up instead of letting it close automatically. Your coworker gets the same 3% raise you do and immediately upgrades apartments. You get the same raise and bump your automatic transfer by $40 a month and never think about it again. Neither choice is wrong, but only one of them compounds. The average person in this country saves under 5% of what they earn. If you're closer to 12, 15, 18% without white-knuckling it, without a spreadsheet of shame and restriction, that gap isn't an accident. It's architecture. And architecture, given enough time, becomes a very different kind of house than the one everyone else is building. Sign 2. A surprise expense doesn't rearrange your week. The transmission goes. The dog needs emergency surgery. A root canal shows up out of nowhere at $1,100. For most people, that phone call changes the next 3 weeks. Which card has room? Which bill gets pushed? The particular flavor of dread that comes with a number you didn't plan for. If instead your reaction to an $800 surprise is closer to mild annoyance than genuine crisis, if you pay it and move on with your afternoon without recalculating your entire month, that's not luck. That's a fund somewhere, built slowly, on purpose, absorbing shocks so your actual life doesn't have to. Sign 3. You've said no to something you could technically afford. This one trips people up because it sounds like the opposite of wealth. It isn't. Anyone can say yes to everything if they don't look at the consequences. The wealthy and don't know it version of you says no to the destination bachelorette party, the group ski trip, the impulse upgrade. Not because the money isn't there, but because you've started asking a quieter question first. Does this move me toward the thing I'm actually building, or does it just feel good for the length of the transaction? When the answer doesn't come back clean, you pass. Nobody claps. Nobody even notices. You just quietly redirect that $400 somewhere that compounds, instead of somewhere that photographs well. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, because signs 1 through 3 are things you do. Sign 4 is something that happens to you, whether you're paying attention or not. Sign 4. Your money made more than you did last month, and you didn't notice for a while. You open an account you haven't checked in 6 or 8 weeks, not out of discipline, just because life got busy, and there's a number sitting there that's higher than what you actually contributed. Not by a little. The market did something. The compounding did something, and for the first time, the growth wasn't proportional to your effort anymore. It happened in the background, while you were at work, while you were asleep, while you were doing literally anything else. Most people never experience this moment because they never leave money alone long enough for it to happen. If you have, even once, that's not a fluke. That's the machine starting to run on its own. Sign 5. You've stopped measuring your life only in dollars. Somebody offers you more money for more hours, more travel, more of your calendar, and instead of an automatic yes, there's a pause now. A calculation that didn't used to exist. What does this actually cost me in the hours I won't get back? 3 years ago, that same offer would have ended the conversation immediately. Now you're doing math on your own time the same way you do math on your money, and more often than you'd have guessed, the math says no. That shift, quiet and invisible to everyone around you, is one of the clearest signals there is. It doesn't show up on a balance sheet. It shows up in the empty Sunday mornings you now protect like they're an asset, because at some point, without announcing it to anyone, you decided they are one. Sign 6. This is the one that ties the other 5 together, and it's the one most people miss completely, because it isn't a moment, it's an absence. You open a spreadsheet you haven't touched in a few months. You enter the numbers, checking, savings, whatever you've got invested, minus whatever you still owe. You do the subtraction, and the number at the bottom is meaningfully higher than the last time you looked, and you can't point to a single dramatic event that caused it. No bonus, no inheritance, no lucky trade, just months of the first 5 signs, quietly stacking on top of each other while you were busy living an ordinary life that didn't feel like it was going anywhere in particular. That's the sign. Growth with no origin story. A number that moved without asking your permission or announcing itself first. If even 3 of these 6 describe something happening in your actual life right now, you are very likely further along than the feeling in your chest is currently telling you. The feeling lags. It always does. Bank balances and net worth don't come with a notification system, and most people are calibrated to notice stress 100 times faster than they're calibrated to notice progress that doesn't hurt. Here's the uncomfortable flip side though, because this isn't a video that ends with a pat on the back for everyone watching. If none of these 6 describe your life, that's not a character flaw either. It's information. It means the gap, the fund, the automatic no, the compounding, the recalculated hours, the quiet number at the bottom of the page. None of it exists yet because none of it has been built yet, and building it starts with the same 11 minutes it always starts with, not with the amount of money currently sitting in your account. The average person your age has no idea what their actual net worth is because nobody ever taught them to look, and because the number, the first few times you check it, feels too small to take seriously. It doesn't stay small, not because of some secret, because of the 6 signs, running quietly, whether you're paying attention to them or not. Check the number. It's already telling you something. You just haven't looked yet.